train to obey rules. But that's the main one.
We'll
Train, drill, teach, school, coach, educate, regimen. Train, drill.
Yeah. So why do you think that people don't have a lot of discipline? Do you see that a lot?
Are we on?
Yeah, we're on. We've been on for the last couple of minutes, haven't we? Yeah. It's rubbish. I'll just edit the first bit out.
Yeah, we'll have to. Let's start again.
Right then.
Introduction or?
I'll do a proper introduction anyway. So go. Right, here we go. Boom. We're in. Yeah. Good. So get that phone out and bring the definition of discipline out again. So that people
Definition
know.
of discipline. Okay. I want you to believe me, so you read that.
Alright, let's go. Discipline. The practice of training people to obey rules or a code of behaviour using punishment to correct disobedience. Or a branch of knowledge typically one studied in higher education. Verb. Train someone to obey rules or a code of behaviour using punishment to correct disobedience.
But yeah, so you got. I like the ones where drill, train, teach, coach, educate. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's training in a discipline and there's having discipline to train in that discipline.
Yes, deep. But for me, discipline isn't a problem. I've been doing martial arts since I was 3 years old. It was like not a massive chore for me to come and train.
Yeah.
My dad just said, if you want to be good at something, you go and train. That's it. From 3 years old, it wasn't like punishing me. You got to go and train. I mean, kicking my butt to go and train.
No.
That was it. I wanted to do it. I'm a disciplined person, and the results speak for themselves.
But you build discipline through habits, don't you?
Yeah.
So when you first start something, for the first 6 months, it takes a lot of willpower to get up and do that thing over and over again. And then 6 months later, you find yourself you're walking. Say you're going to the gym. You're going to try and lose some weight. 6 months into it, you find yourself walking to the gym without even thinking about it. You're not going, oh, I'm tired today, I can't be bothered. You just go, you just don't think about it.
But this is the other part of the story. People train for 6 months loving life. They just put it to jiu-jitsu. They come with so much enthusiasm. They're training for 6 months. I love jiu-jitsu. I'm going to do this forever. Then all of a sudden it gets a little bit harder. Then they lose the love of it. But even if you lose the love of it and you lose a little bit of that enthusiasm to come and train, that's where discipline and dedication comes in. Because even though you're falling out of love of it in a way, they're the days you should turn up. They're the ones you get better.
Yeah, I mean, people always call something like that the grind. They're always on about the grind. But really, the grind is just doing something, just repeating the process again and again and again without thinking about it. So if you're tired, like, you just go and do it. You know it's not going to be the best. Then I think people expect everything to be amazing all the time, and that's just a bit of a fantasy view on things.
Yeah, the same as kids. It's like kids go and try football, they go and try basketball, they go and try this, that. Then they go, Mummy, I don't want to go anymore. It's boring. And the parents go, okay, you don't have to go anymore. So now you've okayed it to start going to football. What's to stop them saying, oh, I don't want to go to school today? You're going to stop them going to school?
No.
Exactly.
Because you don't have to go to school.
Yeah, but it's like, if they don't want to go to school, you can't just not let them go to school. You've got to treat it like it's discipline. You've got to go to school, you've got to be educated. And for jiu-jitsu, it's the same thing. It's like you've got to turn up to jiu-jitsu, you've got to be disciplined to train. It's good for you, it's a life skill, it's going to save your life one day. If you don't have to use it, good. Same as swimming. You've got to turn up to swimming class.
Yeah,
you've got to learn how to swim.
Yeah, you learn how to swim. Well,
you're not planning on falling in the water every day, but if it happens, you can swim, scramble to the side.
Do you not want to go to a beach and swim in the sea a little bit?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
So, I think sometimes parents can influence their kids, and vice versa. So, sometimes the discipline comes from the parents. Like some of them are a little bit soft. I'm not having to talk about parenting here, but you've got to be like, you've got to go. That's it. Hard work pays off, and you've got to go to school. You've got to do jiu-jitsu. You've got to do your swimming lessons. And it's just a snowball into something constructive. And you're just going to work, go into their working life. What, you're not going to go work today?
That's it. Well, but some people do have that attitude. You see, they go, I'm real tired. I'll just call it sickie. So they don't really like.
How are we going to function?
Yeah, but you know, there's people that do that.
I know, but I see it in the club, like our school here. It's like, yeah, I didn't feel like coming training today. I mean, it was nice weather, and I just wanted to go to the beach. Well, that's good, but there's someone here training that's getting better than you, and you're asking me why you're not seeing results.
That's it. I mean, there's the other side of it. As adults, we have free choice, and we've always got the choice to go. And they hear it all the time. I'll start again Monday. But you know, this is Tuesday. You've missed Monday, so I'll start again next Monday. I'll start in a fresh week, because in their head they think I'll start fresh that week. But the thing is, Monday never comes around.
No.
Because there's always, if you can only make one session that week, go make that session, because it will benefit you to think, a lot of people get in their heads. For me, for example, I want to train at least 3 times a week. And do you know how many times I get to train 3 times a week? In the last 6 weeks, I've done that once, because I haven't been able to. But I don't go, I can't train 3 times, there's no point in training. But loads of people do that. Loads of people do that.
It takes a couple of weeks to break the habit as well.
Yeah.
So, you've got to push yourself, and that's it.
Yeah.
It's simple as. And it's like, but don't you want to enjoy yourself? Don't you want to go to the beach? Don't you want to go, like, I don't drink. Don't you want to go out to nightclubs? Like, I can't train tomorrow because I'm going out tonight. That does not fit with me. That does not fit in my mentality.
No.
If you want to be good at something, you go and do it. Like, you don't put anything else in.
A lot of those other things are waste of time. Like they are things that, because the way I see it is quite morbid. But we've only got we've got however many days on this planet, and that's it. Yeah. And if you want to go out and get wasted, you've wasted one. You've wasted money. You've wasted time. You haven't given yourself anything. You haven't gifted yourself anything.
No, I growing up, I was dedicated to martial arts, and people were doing all kinds of stuff, going out, doing drugs or whatever. And like now, they're still doing it,
Yeah,
I'm doing something constructive. For me, dedicating myself to martial arts, I'm helping hundreds of people. They're not helping anyone. They're not even helping themselves.
No.
So all those years of them saying, "Oh, you're so boring. You're not going out. You're not drinking."
Yeah.
Well,
I was one of them people though. You're so boring, and they're never sort of seeing that horrendous self-destructive cycle. Yeah, you change because your experiences. You know when story when you wake up on a park bench in the middle of Woolwich in some real shitty neighbourhood, thinking, how the fuck did I get here? I'm sorry, guys. I'll bleep that out. How did I get here? You think, I have just wasted all of my time and money and effort.
It's bad for health.
Yeah.
It's bad for, you're not doing anything that's going to help you in the future.
No.
Other than being able to talk about it now.
Yeah.
Like,
it's funny, but it's kind of
it's funny.
But it wasn't funny at the time.
Like, I like watching the Hangover film, but I don't want to be one of the characters in real life.
No.
So it's funny because you told the story and I'm laughing at you.
Yeah.
But when you're living it, you know something's got to change.
Yeah.
So, but some people are dedicated to going out drinking.
Oh, they are, 100%.
Okay,
I love it.
It's dedication to them. Yeah, if I miss a drink, I mean, that seems like a problem to them. I'm not in the pub with my friends. That's the dedication. That's their dedication going out. And like, how is that helping anything? So dedication should be directed in a positive manner to help your life, and that's it. And it should be something that is going to help your family also. You dedicate your time. It's like, but I want to sit at home with my wife and hold her hand. No, that's well and good. Right? I'm going to get deep into it.
Yeah.
But it's like, I've heard as many excuses as you want. I don't want to turn this into a negative podcast.
No.
But this, I've had it where my girlfriend has split up with me. Okay? It's painful, right? I'm going to...
definitely train more then.
You've got to train more.
Yeah.
But no, they sit at home, post about, my bed's lonely now, and they're crying. And they're getting more depressed. Go out there and be active. And do something positive. I'm sure she is. Many people positive, probably. It's like they're going over and over again, this cycle of depression. But, do something positive with that. It's like, I've had excuses of, I can't come to training tonight. My wife's not feeling well, or she's got varicose veins. But once you break the habit of going to the gym and sit at home holding hands, they want that to be repetitive again. They want it to be like, oh no, you did it last night, why can't you stay home with me tonight? You stayed home last night, what, you don't love me anymore?
Yeah, you've got to make exceptions to these things.
Yeah, you do these things. It's like, if I'm able to train, I'm going to go and train, that's it. If there's an odd moment where I'm going to stay at home, well, that's the time I stay at home. It's like, I don't take my time from jiu-jitsu to go and do that. It's not going to happen. It's like, that's the relationship I've got. I'm married to jiu-jitsu also. So I'm not going to sit there with a coaching hand just because I did that last week. It's not going to happen.
No.
Right, so my dedication is to jiu-jitsu. That's why I'm good. I'm not saying you can't have a life. I can't say you donate time to go to the beach, or you donate time to go have a social life. But if you want to be good at something, you've got to be focused. And I see loads of talented people come into this gym, loads, way more athletic than me, like just built and designed for it.
Yeah.
But talent without dedication and discipline,
it's not going to get you very far. No, it doesn't
so
get you far.
their mind sometimes kills them, and everything that happens in their life, like they get a bad bill through the post, or their girlfriend leaves them, or something not really that important occurs into their life, all of a sudden I can't go training tonight. It's like, for me, I don't want to say negative, but that, to me, you need some mental training, not physical training. You need to dig deep, get some courage, whatever it takes. Watch a Rocky movie.
I don't like that whole motivation thing.
No, but anything that gets you off your ass, I don't care what it is, as long as you come to train. Like, you can't okay it not to come to training, or not to do something important like go to work, or something that's constructive. I just don't agree with that. Like, for me growing up, there was a choice. I do martial arts, or I do martial arts. That was it. That was my choices. If I can have fun, like I didn't grow up with not like riding a bike or going to the beach. I did all the same things the other kids did, but I was putting money in the bank, like for when I grew up, and I'm good at martial arts now.
Yeah.
So it was.
And you
there was like a savings account for martial arts. I did my hours. That was it. But I also had fun. But my dad wouldn't let me just. Oh, you don't have to go training today. You can go out and play.
Yeah.
Never the case.
There is times when you cannot turn up to training, but like you said, don't make that habit out.
Yeah, no, it's if you can't make it and you've got
Other
a
things
reason,
to
and you know it's the official reason, not an excuse.
Reason, yeah.
Then that's fine. But when you're trying to put anything in front of training, it doesn't make sense.
No.
So it's like, you love jiu-jitsu for 6 months. I'm just saying jiu-jitsu, this could be anything. It could be weightlifting, it could be whatever. You love it for 6 months, then all of a sudden you get a little bit bored of it because it's becoming repetitive. Just because it was new when you first started, everything's glorious and lovely. But that's not the real jiu-jitsu, that's not the real bodybuilding, that's not the real weightlifting or any sport.
No.
Right? The real time you learn is when you're starting to like not want to come, but you do it anyway.
Yeah.
That's where you learn the most.
Well, it's like the analogy that I have. It's like a really big stone, and you've got to try and break it up into bits. And the first 6 months, you take a massive chunks out of it. It's like, yes, whoa, this is great. And then suddenly your chisel is slipping, and you're taking tiny bits off of it. But eventually, those tiny bits, you've ground the whole thing down. So when I first started powerlifting, the first time I deadlifted was 130 kilos. 2 weeks later, it's 150. A month later from that, it's 170. The first competition, I go in and deadlift 195. And then it takes me a year to get to 200. A year to get 5 extra kilos. A week in, week out doing it. Because that's what doing something and being dedicated takes.
And eventually you feel like, I don't want to lift that weight today.
No, I just why don't I just bench press because I'm good at that.
Yeah.
I'm good at bench pressing.
Then you train the things you're good at and the things you enjoy. But that to me, that's a child's
But then
mentality.
on the piece of paper I'd written Friday's deadlift.
Yeah.
So on the piece of paper, and the piece of paper says, you go, oh, I won't do it.
That's it, setting goals.
Yeah.
Is very important. But when you said that, it's like the child mentality of not wanting to do this, so you go and do your favourite thing. It's like, this is the worst one. The kids out on the bike, I understand, like, if you're out on the bike playing, or you're playing football in the street, it's like, why do you want to leave this fun thing you're doing to go and train? Okay? But the discipline to drag yourself away from that, what you're doing to go and train, builds character, doesn't it? It's like being out in the sun, like today, a sunny day, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which is great. Yeah, it's lovely. It's lovely out there. It's not so nice in here. But we made a pact that we were going to come and do it.
Yeah, so
we did it. I could have easily stayed out in the waterfront.
Yeah, definitely.
With my wife, no problem.
I could have God,
but we did it as a discussion, and it's not like we're preaching to people. It's the fact that this is the way I see discipline and the way I see dedication. And I see too many excuses put in front of actual training. And I want to get not too deep into a jiu-jitsu conversation, but I see a lot of people receive their blue belts, right? Then they feel that they've reached a mastery level of jiu-jitsu.
Curse of blue belt.
It's not even a curse. It's the fact that this is what I believe, and I don't want to upset anyone. But then again, I'm not too bothered if I do, because this is just the way I see it. That's the discussion. They receive their blue belt and they think they've really hit a milestone, and they have, but very tiny in the whole jiu-jitsu picture. Yeah, they can probably defend themselves against anybody in the street, but there's many other belts after, and it's not chasing the belt. It's like jiu-jitsu is a life journey. So they've only done like a couple years of this journey, 3 years of a life journey. It's like you barely started, have you? So when they leave it blue, to me it just feels like, yeah, thanks, appreciate it. It's like I put all those hours into you. The coaches, coaching staff here at our school put all those hours into you. Your teammates have put so many hours into you. What have you just done?
But the person's put so many hours, and then just to quit.
Yeah, they put so many hours in, but now it's like they felt like they achieved something, but they know it's so much further to go. I don't know whether they quit because of that or they quit because they achieved something. Like, that's the way I see it, but I still don't understand it. And I don't think anyone is going to understand it. Like, the mentality of some people are different to others, so I don't want to put everyone in the same basket. But come on, why is it that people leave at blue?
Well,
and that's not just our school. Or,
that's lots of schools, and
nearly every school. A lot of people keep them, but I don't know.
There's a lot of.
I would like some comments and what's going on.
Because it's general knowledge that it takes 10 years to achieve a level where you are highly competent. So you say 10 years for a black belt on average. 10 years is quite a long time for a lot of people. But if you were going to look at powerlifting, to be an elite level lifter, it normally takes 10 years, even if you're talented.
Those things.
Yeah, 10 years is about how long it takes to get a good level of mastery at something. And not even to be a master, but to progress further than just a journeyman.
Yeah. Do you think it's this? Like they learn the core fundamentals and they feel like they know every move. But at that stage it's not really a reflex. So they learn the foundation. I suppose like if you put it to powerlifting or whatnot, you learn the core moves, the big moves. But then after that, you're trying to refine the technique over and over and over again. It becomes repetitive.
Yeah, it was what you start analysing how you're doing things. So you go from I need to put on some muscle and that to okay, now I really need to refine it. Every piece is analysed how you do something. You start doing weird exercises that are really not fun at all.
Yeah.
So they're boring because one of the exercises you do for perfecting your deadlift technique is to have a box next to you. A small box, and you put your calves against the box, and you've got to try and make sure that your calves always remain up against the box, always vertical. It's really, really boring, but it really refines the technique. But you have to do that for about 6 months.
Yeah, and it's the same with jiu-jitsu. It's like everyone wants this new fantastic technique that's going to change the world. Like in our self-defense program, though, you learn the self-defense program, then until black belt and further beyond, you're refining those techniques over and over again. So I don't know whether it becomes too repetitive, but you're not going to change the system just to keep someone happy. The system is what it is. It's your job to get good at jiu-jitsu. It's not jiu-jitsu's job to change for you.
Yeah,
it's been around for many years.
There's not going to be a single technique or training or way of training to vastly improve anything quickly. There isn't. Everyone is searching for that little secret, and it isn't. It's just going at it again.
Yeah,
and again.
that's why people join karate clubs, so they do the killer death punch, but then they find that there's no such thing, or they're going to be like standing on.
Killer death punch. Boom. Ow.
Yeah,
What?
it's like, come on, I just think it's a shame where the expectations, actually, people come in with no knowledge at all, and I've seen it across all professions, it could be military, police, they come in trying to learn jiu-jitsu, and at first they suck at it, like everyone sucks at it when they first come. Like, what's the difference? They get to blue belt, then they're like, oh, I still suck, I'm not beating the blue belts. Or they get to purple belt, I still suck, I'm not beating the other purple belts. But did you realise how much you sucked when you came in? So they forget how far they come. So it's like before, you couldn't shrimp up and down the mat, you couldn't do a forward row, you couldn't defend yourself for longer than 1 second against a white belt or a blue belt. Now all of a sudden, you see these progressions, like, but it's still not enough. But you forget how far you've come. So they're like, they come in with no idea whatsoever. I suppose if you read it to what you do, when you come in, you couldn't even lift 100 kilos.
Most people can't.
Yeah.
And then in the first session they go, oh look, I've lifted 120. And you go, yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So, am I really good? And you're like, you're getting better.
But the thing is with this false confidence thing, I love giving people a pat on the back, but I hate, it's the same with the kids. I like giving kids confidence, but giving the kid false confidence is another thing. And this is another debate. In a lot of schools, like karate schools or taekwondo schools, and I'll name it because I've done every other martial art as well, they give people a junior black belt.
Oh, yeah.
Then, a kid from the corner, not a clue about martial arts, just picks up his fist, boom, knocks the kid out. What's up, black belt me? They're walking around, strutting around with black belt on. Same as black belts in most systems. They strut around, sometimes bad culture, they've been brought up wrong in their school. They say, yes, you're very tough now, there's no one to take you on. Then just a regular person in the street, or someone spills their pint in the pub and just
there's an animal.
There's a little argument and pop, 20 years of training down the drain. So I hate giving people false confidence. And real confidence is like, yes, you know, you've got skills to defend yourself, but you know, like you always got to be careful. You don't know who's who. Never underestimate anyone. Carry yourself with a positive attitude. It's best to walk away from a fight than it is to fight, and that's good confidence. They know they've got a way of backing up if anything happens, but they're not walking around throwing their weight around. Because sometimes false confidence leads to a big problem in the street.
Yeah, it can.
I've seen that a lot. A lot of martial artists just get.
You think Aikidokas have that problem?
Oh no, I don't know what happened in that story. But,
Have you that reminds me of something I saw on Joe Rogan's cast where he had an Aikidoka on, and Joe Rogan just said, look, there isn't a single Aikidoka who solely practices Aikido who isn't going to get smashed in by anybody else who does any other art.
oh, no.
Like, say, a jiu-jitsu guy, a judo guy, a wrestler, simply because they actually practice and they do live sparring.
Yeah.
Whereas,
Yeah, I don't know.
but that
stories
comes,
that's gone well.
that comes from that false confidence, and that you see a lot of them are undisciplined because they come in with black belts and they're 4 or 5 stone overweight. And I'm not talking about big muscly guys either. I'm talking about your fat Harry with his big glasses on. Yeah, you know.
But this is what I'm talking about. So false confidence is a huge problem with martial arts because. I'm just going to say karate, like I've got no problem with karate, my dad did karate, but I'm saying they teach kids like this big, punching and kicking with no real way to escape, like with the mindset of just escaping. To punch someone, an adult, is literally going to punch them and just nothing's going to happen. The adult's still going to get them. Shouldn't they be teaching kids a way to break away and escape and diffuse a situation or use their voice more than punching and kicking and doing kata? Like taekwondo, like kicking and punching, any of it. Even boxing to me is not a self-defense. People can argue that boxing to me is not a self-defense system. I'm not trying to blast it because I'll box, but it's still a sport.
The thing
You've got to punch and kick. You've got to punch someone to knock
I would say a lot of boxing gyms would say, yeah, I'd agree with you. There's a sport, it's definitely
a lot of people also don't agree with me.
Don't agree, yeah.
Because it's like, there's no better way of self-defense than knocking someone out. Well, if you're this big against someone that big, you're not going to knock them out. So it's not a self-defense system. And if your system does not follow like elements of throwing, striking, grappling, a comprehensive system of dealing with surprise attacks, it's not a self-defense system.
I think the other thing
So it becomes false self-defense.
Yeah, false self-defense. I think Krav Maga's got that problem at the moment. Because if you've got like guys who are saying, yeah, I'm certified Krav Maga, teaching people once a week, out of shape people once a week, yeah, you can just gouge your eyes out and stuff and all this, and it'll work. And those people don't train. Those people train once a week and they don't build no discipline. They don't have multiple.
It's movie culture, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like they want to be Jason Bourne or someone, and it's very good to be one of those people. Like I would love to be a CIA agent or something. But the truth of the matter is, effective self-defense does not look as choreographed as those systems. No, it's like it doesn't look pretty. Just getting close and clinching or using a distance control technique to escape, it just doesn't look good. So effective techniques.
I think that stems from like instant gratification that we have today. Like me and you, we grew up in the era when this all started. This all like internet sensation started, and you get on your phone now, you can probably glean any information you want. Right now, in front of everyone, you can get whatever you want out there. And the problem is, studying a discipline, you can't get it right there and then. You won't get it. It will be crap. Disciplines are designed to make you quit.
I don't really get people coming here anymore because we've got a good system now. People know what we're about. We're a self-defense school. But I used to get it when I was teaching other systems, and it used to come and make me Bruce Lee. Make me, I want to be as good as Bruce Lee. I want to be.
Bruce Lee wasn't as good as Bruce Lee make out today.
I want to be Danielson. You know,
yeah.
Like I can't do that. Like I'm not Miyagi. I can't do that for you. But it's like for me to be realistic and say, look, you're going to get results, but you're going to have to work hard for the next 10 years. It's not appealing to everyone.
No.
Well, not everyone without dedication. It's like I see people that are so dedicated for the first few months, and I'm like, yeah, it's very good. But in the back of my mind, I'm still thinking, not trying to make it negative, but I wonder how you're going to feel when you start falling out of love with it because you're not learning a million moves. It's like that analogy. It's like it's not. Don't worry about the person that knows 10,000 kicks.
Yeah.
Like Bruce Lee, isn't it?
Yeah.
Don't worry about the person that trains one kick 10,000 times.
Yeah.
But I think everything needs to be too choreographed these days. They want to be doing jumping, spinning, back kicks and look flamboyant, but jiu-jitsu for me is not like that. And getting back to dedication is, once you see that a martial art isn't going to give you that immediately, where do you go? Do you quit and try something else?
You could, but then nothing's going to give you what you want.
That's what I mean.
Like, nothing in life.
I believe there's dedicated people, disciplined people, and I think you can teach discipline because some people just need to be shown this is what discipline is because they've never seen it in their regular life.
Yeah.
Because it's been okay from a young age to say it's okay to quit. It's okay.
If
you don't like it, you can quit. It's right. You don't like football, you can quit. You don't like dancing, you can quit. You don't like swimming, don't worry about it. You have to go. So you can quit. It's like, where does it end?
Well, part of me thinks, the way to help people is to tell them, look, you got to have willpower, and you only have a certain amount of willpower during the day. So try and focus on one thing at a time. So if you want to lose weight, first thing you want to do is exercise. People say diet is mostly about losing weight, but really it's about having scalable exercise. Because if you sit on the sofa and diet, you're not going to be very healthy. So first thing is, don't worry about your diet. Get exercising for 3 months. Make sure that when you say you're going to exercise, you're going to exercise. Then start with the diet, because you don't need willpower now to focus on the exercise. What I think a lot of people's problems comes from is when they try and do everything at once. So they come here to the academy and they're like, I'm going to train every single day I can. Woo, yeah. And then I'm going to go running, and then I'm going to go on I'm going to do the crazy diet and it's just overload, and it's not going to work.
See, that's why it takes 10 years.
Yeah.
Because it's got to creep up on you.
Yeah, each little bit.
Like, most of the people that's here know the full self-defense system.
Yeah.
Don't know it. Like, a lot of them here know the diet. They know the whole history. But to make it reflex, to make it so you don't have to think about these answers, it takes 10 years. It takes, well, sometimes less, but we're just saying 10 years as a
Because this month, so I'll give you an example. This month marks about a year since I've been training jiu-jitsu. Now, for the first 6 months, I trained at a sports place, and I didn't know a single thing. Like, I was just looking at this going, I'm not learning anything.
Because there's no curriculum, there's
But
no structure.
I still turned up twice a week when they had it, because I thought, eventually I'm just going to turn up and I'm going to learn it. That's just what's going to happen.
This
Eventually
is
it's going to
what
happen.
takes us into this discipline thing. You've got to choose the right school so you know how to progress as well. And we give that here, so it confuses me sometimes when it goes a bit wrong. But it's like, in a sports school, this is not slanderous to sports schools, but they start teaching their game. Like if the instructor's good at half guard, or the instructor's good at spider guard, or the instructor's good at sweeps, whatever you want to do, he's good at the mount, they'll start teaching their students the way they fight. But it doesn't suit everyone that way. Some people have not got that athleticism, we're built differently, and there's nothing to follow. There's no set pattern of what they're teaching through the week, or through the month, through the year. So here we follow the same program as the Valentes teach, and it's 27 lessons, there's 4 techniques in each class, and you pretty much know what session we had this discussion.
Yeah,
you
I know
if you miss lesson 2, you've got to catch up on lesson 2.
Yeah.
You know, 4 or 5. If we didn't have the cards like we do, there'd be no way of telling what you're going to do. But it makes you more disciplined. It makes you feel like, more dedicated to the cause, because I've missed lesson 2, I've got to catch up. Instead of like, you can turn up to a sport gym, miss 10 classes and still be fine, because it's not taught in order, you know.
Yeah, there's no...
You'll be fine, but no direction. You won't feel like you've missed anything. Because some, I'm not going to say anything, but they watch YouTube, then they teach whatever they watched on YouTube that night, just because they're trying to find something to teach. And I know people are going to give me a bit of backlash on that, but you've all done it. I remember when I used to do more sport, jiu-jitsu back in the past, I'd be on YouTube thinking, what can I teach tonight? Oh, this looks cool. And that's all honesty, you know, it's like, I didn't have a curriculum, what am I going to teach? Alright, let's get some inspiration. But with our program here, you know exactly what class is next. Lesson 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, I know, and we're going to be teaching the same thing.
I think that is a bit of a problem, the whole YouTube thing, because...
I don't know if there's a problem, but what you're going to do, if you have a curriculum, like, there's amazing information on YouTube. Like, I still source it now to look at throws and technique, and there's the Olympians I'm watching at the minute, I'm like, they're amazing, you know, for the judo side of stuff. I watch wrestling, like, I just love learning. It's not the fact that I want to learn wrestling and judo, I just like, it's just finding different things. I teach the same curriculum here, like, over and over again. I just like, you know,
but then you're an instructor, as someone like me who's a novice student, that I think it's foolish to watch YouTube.
Yeah, because it's overload.
Yeah, look, I can go to, wow, look at this technique. Danny, I saw Eddie Bravo do an omoplata to reverse armbar.
Yeah,
Can you teach me that today?
but you know, that's the problem.
That's not good.
It takes time for information to process.
Yeah.
Right, and that's something I listened to a philosophy talk from Pedro Valente.
Yeah.
And he said sometimes it takes time for information to process. So the more you're on YouTube, the more you're reading sometimes, the more you're trying to get everything, it just doesn't digest, it doesn't process in your brain. So sometimes limiting your class, just trying to limit yourself, just turn up to class and learn what the instructor's teaching for the first year or 2 is a good thing, because you're laying foundations. You can say this, but then, you know, eventually you can start sourcing little bits of information when you've got a little bit more understanding. I think that's important. But sometimes we go on information overload. At the minute, I can watch something and think, that's not good for me. I would watch something, like, even Keen can leave this, an amazing competitor. Like, I watch some jiu-jitsu matches, I don't compete anymore, but the stuff he's doing absolutely crazy, I could never do it. So I know it doesn't really suit my game, so I'll leave it alone, but I like watching him do it, it's cool. And some other people could do it here. But it's not the jiu-jitsu that fits everyone. So, like, I couldn't get some of the 7-year-old people doing that, going up and upside down and folding their back in half, and I'm sure he won't be doing it at 70.
No.
You never know. Yeah, there's some amazing athletes out there, and I love all those guys. Like, I've trained with a lot of them, and they're very good. But for our school here, like, instead of flooding people with one element of a fight of just ground techniques, or one specific guard, or whatever, I'd rather do a curriculum that benefits everyone for those fresh years. And it keeps them focused, it keeps them in one line, and I know people drop off some. No, I was going to say when we started this conversation that most people drop off at blue, but it's not the case. We've got a lot of blue belts here. But it confuses me the people that do quit when they get to blue.
Yeah.
Like, it's not. If you pass that bar, some people quit at purple. Like, some people quit. I've known people to quit at brown belt, and that just blows my mind.
That is a bit weird. I mean, to me, the whole belt thing, I'll be honest with you, it doesn't mean much to me.
No.
Like, the way I see it is it's a thing that you've got to continue practicing.
It's an amazing achievement. Any belt's an amazing achievement, but
and it's a good thing to have.
Yeah, you're more there for the journey. Well, as a martial artist, I'm there for a journey. I've done loads of other martial arts, and I've reached black belt in the other ones. I still practice those, but for me, Jiu-Jitsu is the most comprehensive system you're ever going to find, and that's what I dedicate my life to now. And that's what I discipline myself to study. Like, before, when I was doing the sports side, I wasn't really looking too much into history. I wasn't looking into philosophy. I wasn't looking into a good diet. Like, it was just, I just want to go and compete, you know.
Smash people in. Yeah.
That's what I wanted, and
yeah, that's great. It's same with powerlifting. People have that idea. I'm going to be the greatest in the world, and even some who make it to be the greatest in the world, they do it. They get to that point where they're not going to get any stronger, no matter what they do. And all the drugs in the world are not going to make them any stronger.
So what do they do?
Well, some of them quit. Some of them give up and get fat. And then there are others who just continue, even though that they're getting old, their strength is declining. They think, oh, well, I want to still do this. I want to still be strong and healthy. And that they continue on. And learn and try and
with
coach.
Jiu-Jitsu, like, I'm only relating this to Jiu-Jitsu. Like, what do you do after you can't compete anymore? Do you become an instructor? What if you don't have a curriculum of what to teach? What if your whole competitive career revolved around Barambola? Good technique, it works for competition, not so good for self-defense. No one in the sport community would even use Barambola in a street defense situation. I don't think, on a regular basis. It's not going to be a high percentage at least.
No.
But it works for competition. So now, if you want to open your school, your whole school revolves around like one technique or a couple of techniques, and you become a model of your instructor, which is cool because you always want to. Your master is like, well, that's that. You should always respect that. But I prefer the way we're teaching now, and I'm only talking from my experience. I've tried other schools, of course. Is we have something that's set. And it gives people a dedication, it gives people a discipline, and they can do it for their whole life, the way we're teaching here.
That's the problem that you see with
And they'll be able to teach.
folk style wrestling and freestyle wrestling is that a coach competes for someone competes for a long time. Their competitive career is over. Say that they hit our age, you know, between the ages of 28 and 35. And their competitive career is over. It's finished. You can now, you're not athletic enough to keep up with everybody else. So what do they do now? Oh, coach. But their game might have been simply, and you can win entire tournaments and careers with a double leg and a side control pin. That's it. That's all you needed ever to win, and their whole game could be that. But they're not. You know, they're not very proficient in arm drags. They don't teach people arm drags. They're not very proficient at belly to back suplex. They don't teach it.
So they're not exposed to it too much. They're not able to defend it as well.
And that's the problem where you get people who are extremely athletic and they decide they're going to teach.
Yeah.
Because they built their game around their sports with their athleticism.
Yeah.
I mean, Brock Lesnar, for example, if he decides to open his own wrestling school, I wouldn't attend because he's not very good wrestler.
No, it wouldn't fit me, my style. And
the other thing,
my style at the minute is I train like I'm old.
Yeah.
Like, I've picked up injuries and I train like
broken.
I'm broken. Everything that was from training stupidly before.
Yeah.
But the curriculum, the way we're teaching now, there's not much potential of getting injured. It's kind of like my injuries I've got are from past training wrong. But the way we implement our teaching is now is to keep everyone safe. Safety is our main.
But you used to train like a competitor as well, and that
Yeah,
will break you.
that was it.
Yeah, that will break you.
And to me, a person coming in off the street with a job, like a regular job, and you know they're coming from even the police, they can't afford to go to work with a black eye, a broken arm. It's like it's not worth it to them. And they're really disciplined people, by the way. Like coming from work all day long shifts and stuff. Like the police, military, they've been away for a long time. They come back, and even people with like builders and scaffolders, they work all day long, putting poles, bricks, and build. You know what it's like.
Yeah, you're
doing
tired.
that kind of job.
You're
very
tired.
and they still come and train.
You're tired, and you come into work, especially if it's been a really tough day. Say,
even having kids.
The other week I was laying curbs all day, and I was tired, and I come in, and I think, I'm going to get my ass kicked tonight. I really am. Everyone's going to kick my ass.
Yeah.
Because I'm really tired. I got up at 5 o'clock in the morning, I did some strength training, and then I do work all day. I said, I'm going to get my ass kicked.
But you put one foot in front of the other,
And you
carry
do
on
it.
training.
Because you know it's going to be rubbish. When people are not, there's no lie, everyone hates getting their ass kicked. It's rubbish.
It's not that enjoyable, is it?
No.
Like everyone says, you've got to enjoy the tap. Yeah, well.
No, you don't. That's rubbish. You don't enjoy
I don't
it.
think really anyone really enjoys losing.
No, it's crap. I hate losing, and I've been losing in jiu-jitsu for a year because I'm rubbish at it. But at the same time, unless I keep going, keep turning up,
It's not going to get any better. Not going to get any better, is it?
That's it.
So, yeah, in the old scheme of things, like you can pick any excuse you want, but I know dedicated people because I see them day in day out, and I'm thinking, man, you guys have a really rough day at work. I know it'd be a challenge for me to come to training. Like I would still do it, but you're disciplined. I can see, you know. And then you get some people on the other end of the scale is like they can't turn up because their wife's got varicose veins. You know what? My goldfish died. You know, it's like that to me. That's the extreme.
Yeah, lots of people want to turn up and they want to be fresh, but I don't think I've turned up to a second fresh. For 6 months.
I just think I know dedicated people, and you can put any excuse in front of people.
We're going to take a break now. Yeah, and then we'll be back